Stakeholders, who are those people? Yes, you've heard me talking about stakeholders. Those people are very important. Okay, their official definition of a stakeholder is like people that get vested interest in this production or creation, and they could be like from different field. Of course, you would have number one the investors. You will have the team that's going to be working on it, the creation team, the artistic team, the technical team. All the people working on that, the vendors that will be working with us are key stakeholders. The lawyers are stakeholders. I mean, you got a whole lot of people that are stakeholders. And why it's important that to identify them is because these people, they might have certain requirements. They might have certain things that we need to consider when we do a contract for production, for the creation, or actually we do when we do the actual production of the show, for example, for safety, for compliance with the law, compliance with regulation. So there's so many things that could come and be a problem right somewhere down the line because we didn't consider that at the beginning, or we didn't consider it somewhere in the project, that not finding all of these people and starting with a small team and then convincing ourselves and then going, we're begging to get a lot of change and having people coming in and like saying, oh, you're going to have to do this or else we can't accept that. This is not acceptable for us. And then you're stuck, right? And then, oh my God, we didn't do that. So the stakeholders to be found is very difficult, okay? And it's important that we do that. I'm going to give you a technique that I use, which is the kickoff review to help, bring the stakeholder to life. And they might be in different places. You might have done a project in the past and you knew we were the stakeholder. You do a project similar in a different place, like for example, I'm in China. Stakeholders are coming out of the woodwork here, right? So, boom, some government people showing up. We need a permit for this. We need this. We need a visa for this. The visa is no good. Requirements now have changed. I mean, there's so many different things that could come and bite you somewhere on the line. If you don't find them and capture their requirements, you're gonna be in trouble very fast and very quick. So, using what I call the spider technique, and of course I don't have time to get into the spider technique, and you could search on the internet, and I'm going to give you some link about this technique, and you're going to have a one-page spider technique explanation. But using the spider technique and asking yourself, what this my production does versus that potential interactor, and then finding a function for them, then it means that person is a stakeholder or that group is a stakeholder. Okay, so questioning that for all potential interactor, and then you could go very vague. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you could put interactor. They would say, well, I mean, do we really need to put these guys in? They don't have nothing to do. Well, let's answer the question. What this has nothing to do with this group, so let's get them out. Okay, so at least you have casted a wide net to make sure you pick them up and you got them covered somewhere down the line. And this is a very important pieces to minimize the change that you might have as you go along. And change, when you find a stakeholder too far, down the line in the life cycle, you find it almost at the end, that could ruin your budget, that could screw up your schedule, that could do so much damage, because you need to implement some big change at the end and you have a lot of work done and you need to redo a lot of work. So that's the kind of thing we absolutely need to do, and as soon as possible. As soon we got the production, we know we're going to be working on this, it's going to be an obsession from day one to find all the stakeholder. And I'm using the word obsession, and it is truly an obsession.